Hey guys, so welcome to today's stream, and today um we are starting with keyed collections. No, we did keyed collections, so objects. Yes. Um. So objects. We have done objects in the complete beginners, so we know the basics. So we know how to make a new object. We know how to add properties. We can also add properties like this, like during initialization, and like any property that is not assigned as undefined. And so we did this. Network key name of time. So we did the syntax for getting the values. Um, and so we also did two strings also. So um, um, we did the foreign loop. We did foreign object.keys. So object.keys returns an array with only the enumerated own string property names keys in the object, my object, but not those in the prototype chain. Exactly. So it returns all the keys that you have defined rather than the and not the keys that are in the prototype. So basic object dot get own property names returns the array containing own string property. So property names in the object, my object, regardless if they are enumerated or not. Okay. Let's just check what these will return. So, because that will be helpful. Uh, OBJ A1, comma B 2, comma C 3. So it's a basic object and console dot log object dot keys. So am I not using it properly? Okay, so and the object for bj. So what do we get? ABC, yeah. And get own property names. What do we get by that? We get the same thing. What's the difference between um, property? Whether the return list include a non-enumerated property object does not return them. While what does that mean? Acha. Okay, so we can run a property without having property attribute. And an extra property. Does it return line? No, it does not return an actual. Literal notion versus constructor. cat one is good. So there's a slight difference where you can set if it's enumerated or not, and where to list hidden properties in the product chain which are not accessible to the object because other property have the same name earlier than. However, this can be achieved with the following function. Cool. Creating new objects. So we know how to create new objects. We have done that. Um, Constructor function. We did object.create also. So inheritance. We did inheritance. So using extend and prototypal inheritance also within. Extending object from this. Index. Sorry, that's an we know that defining methods. We know defining methods. Is there anything new? It's almost the same as the previous one. Using so this is this also we did. So this but um yeah so we did getters and setters. Uh, we didn't do getters and setters, but it's basically a method. So uh, get b and looks in at this point look at b method initialize object dot c at this point the set c method is initialized. Okay, cool. Hmm. Makes sense. So getters and setters are new. Uh, so get needs to return something, set needs not, and that's how you can use them. So getters and setters can also be added to an object at any time after creation using object or defined properties. This method it first parameter is the object on which you want to define getters and setters. The second parameter is an object whose property names are getters and setters. In this, yeah. So you can set up getters and setters in this way. Deleting property delete using the delete we did this. Comparing objects. So these will return false because objects are referenced. So uh, By reference, I mean that uh, if when you write let A is equals to any object that you make, so what A does, it stores the initial place where you can find A. So like this is a memory, and in the hardware it stores, like let's say these are 10 bytes, and in the hardware it stores, like these are 10 bytes. It stores the address of the zeroth index, and then it manages. So and that's why both of these will have different uh, um, different references, so different location, and when it compares if they have the same location. Like if you make it let and fruit bearer is equals to fruit, then these two answers will come out to be true. Yeah, so they have shown that. One good way to like check if two objects are like actually the same objects is that you can um, JSON.stringify both of these the objects, and then you can check. I'm not sure if that like this just came into my mind, and I think it could create a problem where, because objects are not indexed in a proper way, like it's not indexed, it's indexed randomly. Um, Ideally it should be indexed randomly, but I've seen a lot of code doing that, a lot of good code doing that. So I don't know if because this just came into my mind, so let's just check. Is JSON the good way to compare two objects? Version. Exactly, it's not a good way, I guess. Exactly. So if they have different uh, keys, then like different order, then it will be wrong, and we don't want that. So it's not the best way. But I also think that if they have the same order also, then they might be wrong. But I'm not very sure about that. Um, but I think like I've seen a lot of code doing that, because I think it could be that the order does not matter because JavaScript has a certain logic where if you enter like this and this in this order, then it will store it in the same order. So and then that could be a thing. So I'm not very sure about that. So when the order, they know, the developers know that order is same, then they might use that. But because I've seen this, but yeah, I don't know if it's a good way. Let's Yeah, it has different problems too. So there could be a niche use case for that. But yeah, this is the whole function for doing actual uh, like actual comparison, and you have to go inside or you have to check for numbers, you have to check for booleans, you have to check for arrays, you have to check for objects. So like for all that, to actually check between two arrays. Uh, it would have been good if JavaScript itself implements a function to check two objects, because I think it's used a lot, and why not? When JavaScript makes a lot of stuff so easier, then they could easily make a comparison for comparing objects, and so I think it shouldn't be uh, it should be a function inside JavaScript, but yeah, it's not. So what can we do? Um, I'm actually very tired today. Uh, I haven't streamed a lot, but I feel like I have because I completed one section. I don't want to start another section today. So let's see. Um, it's been 15 minutes only. Because objects we have done a lot of it in the first section. Promises, iterators, and generators. These both will be like promises we haven't done. Classes also we did a lot, but I think classes are like very extendable. They have a lot of things that are added. So I think this, and it looks like that it might have a lot of new stuff. Um, what should we do? Should we end this or not? I think I'll end this. I'm overly tired, and it's okay. Um, Let me just change and okay. I guess that's it. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Good night.